I've heard you talk about lab leak before. What would be kind of the simplest, strongest argument against COVID being a lab leak virus?
So SARS-CoV-2 started in the Hunan wholesale seafood market at one particular section in the southwestern section. How do we know that? We know that because there's genetic evidence that the virus was there. We know that because the first few cases were right there in that one stall of the Hunan wholesale seafood market. We know that because all the original cases then spread out from that market. We know that it didn't start in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, which was 9 miles away on the other side of the Yangtze River, where none of those cases were detected. They were all around this one section of the Hunan wholesale seafood market. We know by phylogenetic analysis, when you look at the people who got infected, that you could then trace it back to those animals that were there, or at least the genetic evidence of the animals that were there, whether it was palm civets or bamboo rats or raccoon dogs, it was all there. This is exactly the same way that SARS-1 started. Also in China, also associated with the wet market. In fact, recently, Shi Jiangli, who is the head of the Wuhan Institute of Virology's section working on bat coronaviruses, sequenced the 56 remaining viruses that were there to show that we're in no way a precursor to this virus. All the evidence is on one side. This is a scientific question that should be answered in a scientific venue, and it has been. If you look at all the publications, whether it's in Cell or Nature or Science, they all show that this was a animal to human spillover event, just like SARS-1. There were two separate lineages that rose from that one market. So you would have to argue that two separate scientists were infected and then happened to go to the one place where you would expect an animal to human spillover event, as compared to the other 10,000 places in Wuhan where you could have gone if you were interested in sort of seeing this virus spread. There has never in the history of humankind been a pandemic virus created in the laboratory. So if you're going to make that case, you have to do a little better than just appealing to conspiracy and innuendo.